because of the kit that Kalea has, it's easy for TNC to set up at any given moment. King Kong, it might be in trouble.
King Kong could be in trouble. It's going to get slammed down again into the fight. They're going to try to get out. Zyda's pretty low, though. They might be able to find it as Kelra gets Zyda. He gets a double. He's looking for more. Lancey on the side might pop the beacon. Does it defend? Seal going to be used. Not sure where Yawi's going to go. He title strikes in. There's the Tsunami. He's going to be able to find him down. They have enough damage to take out Kirk. Now Kelra firing off the backside. Super Prince jumps in with the beacon. He'll bring with Lord JM back. Now Lancey takes too many shots to the face, but he's going to be fine.
King Kong! For Onic and the glow pick. What a swerve.
Okay, so this is
Rome Hilda?
Rome Hilda.
Yeah. Interesting.
Those two teams, but again, our highlight match is underway. It's going to be the defending champions, Onic Philippines versus TNC Pro Team. Will the storm that is brewing for the Phoenix Army finally get the revenge up against the Sonics?
Already, you know, you see this hero banned out so much because of that lantern flare that Jushin can go ahead and play around, and it's quite annoying for a lot of people to deal with, but so far, Lancey holding his own against Super Prince. And then again, you know, it's going to be like, how can they actually go ahead and deal with this Kalea? It is this time around, Yawi's running the, focusing mark. He's already going to burn the flicker, actually, as I mentioned it.
Okay, the aggression so far of Onic is paying off. Major resource expended already from Yawi.
He went Vengeance!
Yeah.
Brusco!
Oh!
All right, so he knew he needed to sustain. He didn't go for speed. He went for, all right, try to hurt me. I'll hurt you back. And just try to survive as long as possible.
Yeah.
I feel like Assassin for the carry to duel with the Granger a little bit better.
Maybe because, you know, you have a lot of crowd control from Lord Jamin and Yawi. What's a sprint to the capabilities of one Kalea? So I do agree why Brusco went with the Vengeance instead. Little bit of a laning phase between Benny, QT, and Kelra. It's natural that you will see the Granger dominate the late game centered carry early on.
Benny QT managing it a little bit well, actually. Nothing too crazy. Although he wasn't able to get the last hit on the gold minion. All right, center of the map, even. Although Brusco and Super Prince are making the right move of being aggressive and being the ones to place themselves forward and get information. Super Prince covered the rotation out of lane by Lord JM. They're going to send the glue to the mid to get a bit more farm. Interesting.
You know, we've been seeing this rotation even way back in SPS, wherein you don't know who's actually the main roamer of Onic. Is it Brusco? Is it Kirk? Because they're really pairing up onto the mid lane. But now, with that kind of rotation, Onic is actually has a good control over this first turtle as King Kong just working on his orange buff up top. Will Onic still contest, or will King Kong make it in time also?
Title strike, Super Prince. Yawi not level 4 yet, so no Tsunami Slam. So just kind of poking them down, seeing where things are going to go into here before they commit to this turtle. But Onic Philippines still trying to gain control. Brusco's almost level 4 too. So Zyda will go ahead and finish up. He's got that level 6. And it's just a face-off right now.
Yeah, Zyda and Brusco might just set his eyes onto Zyda. Lancey has the Lantern Flare of Super Prince as Kirk just working on the turtle. Look at the zone coming in from Super Prince.
Oh, top.
Preventing Yawi, but look at the top though.
Kelra taking a couple shots from Benny Cutie, so having a hard time 1v1. Brusco trying to spot out. They're going to look like they're going to fight for the turtle already. King Kong making his way to the turtle. They're going to crash down into it. And there's the Tsunami Slam on Brusco, but Kirk gets the turtle. And they're going to fight, force the fight under now the tier 2. Brusco won't be able to get that last hit on Yawi, and they disengage. No one going down, but objective secured for Onic Philippines.
Yeah, very textbook approach there by Onic PH. Up in the gold lane, Kelra was brought low. He was trying to go for the beetle, but Benny Cutie committed his ultimate so that he can bring Kelra to the red point. That's why we did. That's why we saw Benny Cutie didn't have his ultimate once we saw him there. Once he got to the turtle fight, though, it was just a great zone out by Super Prince and Brusco. And Kirk actually decided to hold back from being in the front line. He stayed in the back alongside King Kong to help with the entry of Zyda, and miraculously, Kirk was the one able to get the last hit on the turtle. Let's see if Onic PH will decide to commit into this line of thought even more.
Oh, they're going to crash down. They get the flicker out from Lord JM. The beats already popped. Super Prince could be in trouble here. He's going to whittle down, and he gets his soul snatched out of him.
A good response there for TNC. Not minding Lord JM anymore. They went for a bigger fish. Super Prince will fall down. He didn't pop his Purify. But still, Onic has a 1.1k gold lead, and a lot goes to the fact that they have two chunky heroes in Brusco and Kirk that Redmar mentioned earlier can interchange roles, wherein Brusco, paired up with his Vengeance, actually zoned up Zaida by himself. And now Onic Philippines, we haven't seen so far any amazing plays coming in from the Beast, but this might change though because, again, the control of the mid trio, and when I say mid trio, you don't include King Kong because Kirk is in the picture. There's the Retribution.
They want to go for Super Prince again. Retribution used. They get the beacon out though.
Yep.
So that might be okay for them right now.
Let's see if the ultimate will be back. 15 seconds on the timer. I think Super Prince will not have his ultimate in time for this turtle, while Lancy also doesn't have his. Trying to see what ultimate he has now. He does have the bottom lane.
I think he was holding on to the beacon now. Fist crack, fist break, gonna be used. Lord JM could be in trouble.
Oh!
He's trapped under his own obstacle.
Traded
now for the turtle. Turtle will be secured by Zaida. Now looking for another fight. Vengeance gonna be popped from Brusco. Looking for Benny Cutie. Can't get the kill. So again, now Zaida picking up another one.
All right, good decision by Keller to actually not show himself and join in that fight. Of course, a deceptive reach because of that rolling wave that the Kalea has in her kit when she jumps up in the air and can reposition. So even though it looked like Keller should have joined in so that they could have secured the kill onto Benny Cutie that Brusco set up for him, it would have been too risky to finish that off. Tower in the bottom lane broken by Onic PH, and they go for their typical cross-map trade at the second turtle.
Yeah, and still Onic holding on to a 1.28 K gold lead despite the good attempt from TNC. But again, if it continues to pile up the way TNC is countering the aggression of Onic, and if Benny Cutie continues to pile up kills as well, you're gonna definitely feel the carry later on in the late game. So now Onic Philippines, they need to translate their trades more perfectly, because again, they can't let TNC go for the counter like this.
There's the Tsunami Slam right on Brusco. Again, under the obstacle, Zaida picks up another kill. The combination from TNC right now is just on point, and they're able to get Brusco. I was wondering, because he picked up Vengeance earlier, I felt like he's just going to feel really kind of heavy, you know, around the map.
Especially if Yawi doesn't hesitate to pick him off. Let's see how many more times TNC Pro Team will continue that. Zaida committing the ultimate so that he can get a beetle. I don't think he will, as King Kong will already be closer to level 12. So King Kong farming significantly faster compared to Zaida. 4.26k to King Kong's 5,000.
Yeah, you know, the Joy still needs to scale up later on. Cannot afford to get traded out. Yawi goes right away. And the thing is, we already saw a glimpse of what the Kalea can do. It doesn't even need to pop the flicker or use the flicker. Because of the kit that Kalea has, it's easy for TNC to set up at any given moment. King Kong, it might be in trouble.
King Kong could be in trouble. It's going to get slammed down again into the fight. They're going to try to get out. Zaida's pretty low, though. They might be able to find it as Kelra gets Zaida. He gets a double. He's looking for more. Lance the other side might pop the beacon. Does it defensively, though. And it's Onic Philippines able to disengage with everybody alive.
We see a 1v1, but there was a 1v1 that we didn't get to see. King Kong versus the Turtle. He gets the third one of the game, and Onic PH will get the tower as they will continue their aggressive posturing forward.
And now they're translating their rotation to actual objectives, securing the third turtle, plus the first turret onto the middle lane. And we just showed the stats of Kelra for the first 8 minutes so far. I think it's going to increase because he already picked up 2 kills early on before the 8-minute mark.
He got a Sky Piercer. Should have 2 stacks, right?
Yeah.
He got that after, I think, he built up the Sky Piercer. So Onic PH are just making the right moves right now. You see how much the beacon is actually...
Kurt? Split. Fist break gonna be used. Lord Jam gone again. And now looking for more. Tidal Wave gonna be used already. Zaida could be in trouble trying to get the soul snatch off. Yawi's gone though. Again, they find 2 kills. They trade it for Brusco, but Onic Philippines now working on the tier 2 turret.
This is looking hard for TNC. A 3-level gap already between the 2 junglers. Lancy has his own Lantern Flare, hasn't been used yet. And Onic just demolishing all the outer turrets from top lane to mid lane. Now the TPs. Here comes Zaida, but gets blasted down by Kelra. Unbothered by what TNC is throwing at them. Lord JM
gets forced to use his fist break, or fist crack, and now he's taken out. I mean, he has had a rough time on this Badang.
Yeah, very tough. He's been forced to use this fist crack a lot to avoid getting crowd control, not actually getting the setup that he wants. And I think we've also gotten to the point because the key moments where Onic Philippines were able to win a major fight and build this lead were on the backs of TNC Pro Team forgetting or not respecting the fact that they're up against a glue. That if you stick together in a team fight, the glue is the happiest. Kirk is unbothered. 0 deaths, no kills, but he does have 5 assists. And Kelra, on the other hand, has 5 kills. So this glue pickup as the substitute roamer for whenever Brusco will be taken out, and he's accepted his fate. 3 deaths. A TNC Pro Team cannot blow so many abilities on the Hilda alone. They have to be able to deal with this glue.
Okay.
Ouch!
Oh, again,
Whoa.
Yawi jumps in with the title. Not going to be able to land the Tsunami Slam. Now they're going to be chased down. King Kong, pop the Retribution, looking for Zyda, pops the beats, is able to find him. And now they collapse down towards the base. King Kong jumping in. Lancy holding on to the beacon still. And it's Onic Philippines. This is the green light for them to take the Lord now.
That's the good use of the availability of the Purify. Kelro was actually zoning out and being the front liner of Onic because he knows that he has an escape if ever Yawi tries to go in. Uncontested Lord take for the Sonics as they were able to take down Zyda. Beautiful play coming in from the Sonics.
How Onic Philippines are playing around Brusco, Super Friends, and Kirk have honestly set things up for Kelra and King Kong very well. They're holding down the front line. They're baiting out abilities from TNC Pro Team. Brusco doesn't mind getting sacrificed here because they know that they have the glue. Kirk isn't putting himself in danger so much. He hasn't been taken out. He's helping King Kong secure objectives, especially in the early game. Onic Philippines have just looked like they've really sharpened up and shapened up back to, well, the key to victory said, their old standard.
Yeah. We're actually seeing it right now as they were in full control of the mid lane. A lot, of course, goes to the credit of Brusco and Super Friends. We're seeing a lot of action coming in from the XP laner and roamer, but we tend to forget the importance of what Super Friends has been doing, the constant pressure of that lantern, continuing to put TNC out of position, even if it doesn't connect. That's why it's hard for Lord JM and Yawi to actually find those proper angles for a potential comeback. Lord sieging in onto the middle lane. Lancy has his own lantern flare as Super Friends leading the charge. Here comes Yawi.
Yawi again with Tsunami Slam is going to bring him back. Flicker, Kirk not going to be enough, but King Kong in the back line. Already popping the beats. Kelra unleashing with Rhapsody. Lord's still going to be up. It should go down before it works on the base. So right now, TNC stays in the game after finding Kirk.
All right, let's see if Onic Philippines can get the tower up top. They still have enough members.
Zyda?
Still going for it. Zyda looking for a kill on Super Prince. The Soul Snatch does find a Super Prince. So another kill added to the board for TNC.
It's just weird. Sometimes it feels like Soul Snatch is a bit of a cheat code, huh?
It is.
It's a really strong skill. Takes him out of the map. It's like a sure execute if you're able to commit the full animation onto a low target. It's crazy.
So that's why Zyda already has 5 kills to his name. So far, they're able to have an answer, even if Kirk was actually zoning out the members of TNC. This time, they have to watch out for the damage that can come from Zyda and Benny Cutie. This is the time where Benny Cutie tends to shine as well with the carry. Already has that Corrosion Scythe, Golden Staff, and DHS. So one beautiful setup from Yawi can again turn the tides for TNC. Again, he has the Flicker available. If ever they force out the Purify early on onto Kelra, TNC might turn things around.
They're starting to gain some ground here. I think still, even when it comes to it, this next objective, TNC can win a fight if they're able to go ahead and just not get outmaneuvered. That's the problem, because when they start to get in this side of the jungle and more towards that Lord pit, that's where you can see Onic Philippines take an off angle and kind of surprise them. So they really have to rely on that set, like you mentioned, from Yawi, but also just keeping Zyda protected in a way. It's like you got to protect not only Zyda, but also Benny Cutie. Yeah. But as the game goes further, we might see TNC a little more capable of actually just winning some of these team fights head on.
You know, considering that TNC has Yawi, Zyda, Benny Cutie, we can actually expect a different kind of angle. Okay, the Pinnacle Jutsu already worked on Zyda quite low. This might be a go signal for Onic to just go and burst down the Lord. That's a beautiful pick-off from Onic Philippines, and TNC has not even a sniff on the second Lord.
Dare I say Onic Philippines have really just played this game so much better. When we talk about the old standard of Onic, how you control through confidence. Kelra, even though there were times where it looked like Benny Cutie was able to outsmart him just a little bit in lane, they were able to recover. How Kirk, Super Prince, and Brusco kept things very solid for Onic. So King Kong and Kelra are relatively unbothered. It's just they're back to their old tricks, and it's a very textbook way to approach it.
Zyda gonna go ahead and try to clear what they can. They gotta deal with this Lord still. Lord JM might be waiting for his own moment to crack and break into the lineup here. Lord's gonna be worked on, it is. King Kong probably the rest of is gonna be able to find Zyda. Quickly gets thrown into the fountain with the Tsunami Slam. So they lose both junglers. Can Onic Philippines still punch this one in? That top turret's gonna go down. Kirk goes in with a flicker. Yaoi takes a couple shots
to aggro
with the Rhapsody. They're trying to keep it together. Split, gonna be bombed. Lord JM with the crack comes through. And they're still trying to clear the wave. So far, so good. And Onic Philippines only able to take out all the turrets. TNC stays in it.
It's crazy how Onic Philippines didn't get as punished as I thought he would. There was a reason why I was yelling out too aggro. I thought it was way too much. That they were trying to get out of that, but at the end they walk away with only one death. It's King Kong who goes down after trading himself for Zyda. But now the base of TNC Pro Team has no towers remaining. It's just the final crystal.
Wow, despite the 7K gold lead and no turrets remaining for TNC, the community is still leaning towards the side of the Phoenix army. And again, going back to Redmar's point, I actually thought I thought the same, that the setup coming in from Lord JM, if he held on a bit longer, that might be a potential comeback for TNC, but Onic was just miles ahead, steps ahead of TNC. They just wanted to zone out the remaining members and make sure to take out all inhibitor turrets out of the map for the Sonics.
Despite them having an definitely 100% online carry for this late game, even the Valentina's damage here has to be respected by Onic Philippines. TNC Pro Team needs the Hanzo to deal a good amount of their burst raw damage that they can dish out for the Valentina and the carry to clean up house with. So I think that's why Onic Philippines and especially King Kong went into that with the mentality of, you know what, I'll trade myself for the Hanzo, because even without the Joy, Onic Philippines will still have the Granger, and even at this point, the Juicin has a respectable amount of damage.
But right now in 20 seconds, both teams need their junglers because third Lord will be up for grabs. Consecutive Lords, TNC wasn't able to contest because Zyda was low. The Pinnacle Jutsu already used up and got bursted down immediately by the members of the Onic Philippines. But things might change this time. They might go for a risky play and try to contest for the Lord. Let's see what happens as the third Lord will respawn, and Onic is pretty much has a good hold over the Lord pin.
Yeah, they do. They're going to go ahead and zone them out the best they can here. I'm not sure if TNC is actually going to be able to find an angle to contest, so it's just going to come down to, okay, base defense again. And honestly, with the lineup they have, that might be their best chance of turning things around. Whoa, Conceal going to be used. Not sure where Yaoi's going to go. He tidal strikes in. There's the Tsunami. He's going to be able to find him down. They have enough damage to take out Kirk. Now Kelra firing off the backside. Super Prince jumps in with the beacon. He'll bring with Lord JM back. Now Lancey takes too many shots to the face, but he's going to be fine. King Kong will jump in with the Retribution and gets the flicker out. So all this, the one-for-one trade, Lord JM for Kirk without the XP laners, but the Lord is crashing down the mid lane. Onic Philippines, can they end it here? Again, a slam comes down and he finds King Kong. And now still fighting it out, looking to end the game. Kelra takes a couple shots. They're gonna work with the Lord here. Lord, quite healthy, still at half health. The base is gonna be worked on and Zyda is gone. Kelra will lock on the base and Onic Philippines will take game one.
Might be a glimpse of the dominance of the Sonics, but one thing for sure is they won that match with a statement despite losing the beast. Kelra stepped up.
Confidence by Onic Philippines.